So if this is the first video of mine you've seen, there's previous ones. I forget how many I got, but I'll be putting more up. So if you like it, hit the subscribe button. So the time has come. I haven't had this car running since January. It's been sitting here, well, it's been in the garage here for about probably 4 months. Up on jacks, I've been underneath of it working on everything. And I finally just buttoned up the last of what I had planned. Now we got to find out what I didn't have planned. It ran great. I only started it twice. This is my first Model A experience. I never even sat in one till I got this. I've only started it twice. That was once to turn it around in the driveway after the flatbed dropped it off, and the other was to bring it in here. And I've been underneath of it ever since. So it's going to be a cold start. It's been sitting about 4 months. What do I got to do? Throttle. Spark is almost all the way up. Open that valve. Key on. See what happens this time. So there was mixed results on that. It started. Didn't run as good as it did in January, but that's not much of a surprise because this stuff, the cap, the rotor, everything in here, even the coil is probably from maybe 1970. It ran all right in January, but somebody had threw a 12-volt battery in it just to get it running. So that little extra voltage must have gave it enough of a kick. Right over there. The points are pretty burnt, and when I had it running, I could see a spark arcing between here on the distributor cap, between the electrode. On this one, I imagine some of the other ones, it's pretty rusty. I have all new stuff coming. I do have a set of points. I might throw that in, try to clean this up, and try to fire it up again. So let me get the cap off. They're tight. That one's loose. That one's so-so. Okay, so I got the points in, and believe it or not, I think I got the timing set right. Actually, I broke this wire when I took the cap off. It broke right down here. I drilled a new hole in it and put it on the spark plug. I got all new ones coming, but I wanted to try to fire it up. That one isn't staying on there too tight, but I also cleaned up all the contact points here. You know what? Dumbass. Got to put the rotor in. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see if I can find a little bit of gas. Maybe I'll just throw a cup or two in it, start it up and see how it goes. Okay, threw a little gas in it, not too much. So now I got a little problem with the starter. The motor's turning, but for some reason the gear is not engaging. Actually, when I was turning it over by hand to set those points, I heard something go clank. And it sounded like it was in the engine or someplace on that side. So we'll see what it is when I get in there. So after I got the starter out, even though I never seen one before in a Model A, I knew right away what was wrong. The spring, the bolt was broke off in the hole here. And luckily, I just took a screwdriver and pushed it, and that piece come right out. That was pretty lucky. Then I had to go fishing in the bell housing for the other half of it with the magnet. It took a little while, but I finally got it. I ran down to AutoZone, I think that's what it is. Picked up some 5/16 bolts, 3/4, 5/16 by 3/4. Looks like it's gonna fit. The only thing is I couldn't get the washer out. There's a washer with a lock on it. So I'm gonna have to take a washer and kind of cut it with a Dremel and make it work. I might fish for another 15 minutes and see if I can get it, but I was trying for quite a while and couldn't get it. So I'm gonna put this bolt in, see what I end up with. Well, I went to put the bolt in and I didn't notice this before, but if you look down where the screwdriver is, let me move it over one. I don't know whether you can see that, but right at the end of that screwdriver, that shaft, it's cracked. So I'm not even going to bother trying this. I was going to buy a new one anyway, but I was going to try this to at least get started and not have to wait 4 or 5 days to get the new one. But with that crack in there, I'm not going to bother. I took the spring off. Now you can get a good look at that crack right there. That's not that uncommon, I guess. I'm not going to take this apart yet. There's a key under here. But when you order a new one, they're not much. If you get the good one made in USA, I think it's like $42. Okay, so I got my new Bendix, made in America. Why I was waiting for that to come, I ended up getting new battery cables because the ones that were on it, I think, were 4 gauge, was a little small. It was cranking a little slow. But don't lose the key. Don't want to come out. Let's see why. Oop, there it goes. Huh. I don't know. Must just been a little piece of dirt caught under it or something. All right, let's put the key in. And I wipe it off again. Yeah, that's weird. There's only a key slot up here at the end. So I guess you got to take it apart and put it on in 2 pieces. Doesn't make that key too easy to get in there. Pushed it out. Started it, but it pushed the key up a little bit. Might be a little burr on this slot here. Let's see. Well, this is going to be a pain in the ass. The key doesn't want to fit in the slot. It is, but it's tight. And when you try to slide it on, it's pushing it up. So I got to find my file, and I'm just going to clean this end up a little bit. It looks like there's a little bar on there. Okay, it must have just been a little bar on there because one pass of the file and it seemed like it was going on pretty smooth. So let's get the key back in here and make sure I don't put it on backwards. Yep. And it went on. Perfect. When it goes on, your holes will line up perfectly. And it comes with the washer that you bend over to hold the bolt at the locking part between the spring and the loop on the spring. Need a bigger ratchet, I got to go a little further. There we go. Got the flat spot where I can bend that up. There we go. Now comes the fun of putting it back in the car, which really isn't hard, but. Okay, I got the starter back in, Bendix replaced, and why I was waiting for the Bendix, the rest of my tune-up parts came. So we got everything new here, plugs, cap, rotor, the, I don't know what you call those wires, new coil, and I had put points in it before. So this is all ready. And I think I said I replaced the battery cables, and all this while I was waiting. I also put in a battery kill switch. I ran the cables down through the floorboard. I don't know. I put it here. I may end up moving it and putting it on the floor, but I don't know. I kind of like it here better. So now I guess we're going to go to that startup, see how it runs now after all those new parts. I don't think I forgot anything. Gas on. Come on. Well, sounds better than it did before. Yeah, before, as soon as I gave it a little bit of gas, it wanted to break all up. Playing with the valve over here. Seems to be happy at about a third of the turn open. As soon as I cut it down any more than that. Yeah, about a third. All right, I think I'm going to shut it off before I asphyxiate myself in here. Okay, so that went well. Started right up, ran good. Except for that leaky exhaust. It's a little noisy, but that's all right. I'll get to that. But wanted to address the battery cables. When I got the car, it was cranking pretty slow. The old owner said it always cranks slow, but it had 4-gauge cables on it. Locally, the heaviest I could get was 1 gauge, so I bought them and put them on. And here's the difference. This is a clip of it cranking with the 4-gauge on it. And now we're going to crank it with the 1-gauge. Quite a difference, I think. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Next one will be the first ride. I can't wait for that. But thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.